Hey YouTube, this is Eddie's Tech Talk, and this is my longer term review of the Galaxy Z Flip 3. Now, look, I'll sum up the reason why I'm making this video here pretty quick, and that is because, of course, there's been some issues with the screen, and I'll go over those. They're not totally the worst thing in the world. You know, obviously you can see here things are looking good mostly, right? I mean, things are looking pretty normal, but I'll go over kind of my general use experiences with the device and where we're standing now this long after the release of the Z Flip 3. And I've had this, I ordered it on the day you could pre-order it, so I've had this since the day it came out. It's been an awesome phone, and I was just about to make a longer term video talking about, you can see kind of the eclectic case here, but I was going to talk about how the Z Flip 3 kind of, in a way, made my desire for phones at least a little bit less. If anyone's followed me over the years, or if this is your first time watching me, I have really been into phones really a very long time. And I mean, over a decade now. And I've just always wanted new phones, and I'm a very frugal person as far as finances go usually, but my one hobby, or one of my few hobbies that I spend money on, is phones. I just like getting a new phone about every year, and I'm always, even after I get the last phone, I'm always looking for, okay, what's next, that kind of thing. And since having the Z Flip 3, I mean, this phone is awesome. I'll put another small phone up next to it, the iPhone SE, the 2020 version, and this phone's really small. It's thinner, it's more pocketable, from like a slab perspective, right? This phone is not as thick, obviously. I'll take the case off for an even comparison, but the Flip 3 is so much more pocketable in other ways, because, right, it folds in half. I mean, this is a very small phone. We're talking about a phone that's half of its size. So it's awesome, it's fantastic. I've loved the Flip 3, and really, in a lot of ways, it's been a total replacement for some of my phone, I guess, urges to get like a new one, right? And I've really liked my time with the Z Flip 3. Now, of course, there's a but here, and the but is, well, we've got some issues. And I was gonna make a video talking about how the Flip 3 is a really stable device. I really like it, and it's a phone I could see myself with for quite some time, and maybe not get a new phone this year as I do as a hobby. Maybe keep it for a year and a half, maybe, or 2 years, or longer. Let's see how long it lasts. I was, prepared to at least have those conversations go down that road until about a week ago. And so I'll show you what we're dealing with here. So this is the condition of the Z Flip 3. Again, I've had it since it came out. That's why I have this black color, because this was the first version to come out. The other colors were delayed by a while. But we've got our front display. It's looking great. It has been in the case, out of the case, a little bit of a hybrid approach there. So the front screen, as I said, it's looking good. No scratches, no scuffs. I do wish they would have added a little bit in terms of utility to this. It'll pop up notifications if you've got them. You can look at those. Here, you can also swipe through. I just wanted to hide my weather. If you've got Galaxy Buds Pro or other, Galaxy Buds, you can control them from out here. You can add widgets like calendar. You can change the face. I do wish that they would have added something a little bit different. For instance, if I want to initiate Samsung, brightness I can control. But if I want to initiate Samsung Pay, why can't I pay like this? That's just an issue I have. Why can't I pay like this? Why do I have to open my phone? The fingerprint sensor's right here. If you need authentication, let's just do it all right here. I want to hold my phone up and have it work. Obviously, when you have a foldable phone, as opposed to just whipping your phone out, boom, we have our phone, you've got that extra step of flipping it open, which isn't a huge issue, but why can't I use Samsung Pay? So these are my minor gripes. We'll work up to the big guy at the end. Here we've got our Samsung etched in logo, or I guess text. Very hard to see there. We're struggling to focus. And right here in the corner, I think you can see that glint as we try and focus in. Maybe. Yeah, you can see that. This glint right here in the light is actually, it's a little smaller than it looks on the unfocused camera. Yeah, there you go. You can see it there. That's not actually just a glint of the light. The paint has chipped off a little bit there, and that's disappointing after this amount of time I've had it, especially when it's been in the case so often. Obviously, the hinge is still exposed when it's closed, but hey. The bottom's looking good. So that's what we have when the device is folded. Let's unfold it and get into some of the issues. So issue number one is the battery life. Of course, it's unchanged. It's not an issue with the device itself, of course, in terms of like performance or degradation. We're just talking about just existing issues with the Z Flip 3. So if you're checking in from my last long-term video review, those problems have not magically resolved. Everything else is pretty good. My only other major gripe, if I go up here and I say, okay, let's search for something, let's search for Samsung, it'll probably work. See that like lag? There's just that like half second of, yeah, see that? See that lag? You know, we're dealing with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 here, obviously not the newest chip anymore, but if you can't run these searches like that faster with a chip of this caliber, something's up there. So these are just minor gripes. Again, you know, the points that I made at the beginning of this video still hold true. This is a fantastic device. I've really liked my time with it. The battery life is certainly the biggest differentiator in terms of a reason why maybe to upgrade. And I would say the second biggest is the camera. While the camera is good, I love the wide angle, and it's a good camera today. I think 2 years down the road it's going to show its age, but I'm not going to provide any major updates here on the camera just because, look, it's still really good here as we get into 2022. I just don't think it's going to age as well as, you know, an iPhone 13 Pro or a Galaxy S22 Ultra, right? Those sorts of higher end phones. It's not the greatest camera in the world today. A year or two down the road, of course, it still won't be. But the major issue, and the reason why I'm really prompted to make this video now, is the screen. And it looks good, it's looking fine from that standpoint. Let me pull up Firefox. I think I just loaded up a white background so you could see. We can see it's starting to bubble up here because the Galaxy Z Flip 3, and it's a little bit lesser over here. The Galaxy Z Flip 3 does have a pre-applied screen protector from the factory in order to protect this foldable screen. So, look, this isn't normally an issue of any consequence on really any phone. If you have a phone and your screen protector breaks or it starts bubbling up, you can just go get another screen protector. If you're Apple, you go to the Apple store, they'll just apply one for you. You're in, you're out, you're good. Same thing with a lot of other phones. You can apply a lot of these yourself or go to like a Best Buy or something, they'll apply them for you there. You know, you just take it off, you move on. But with the Galaxy Z series and with my Z Flip 3, Samsung does not want you to pull it off. And the guy at the repair store said that it might actually void the warranty if you've been messing with, again, a pre-applied screen protector. Not the screen itself, but the protector over the screen, which is ridiculous to me. So I contacted Samsung and I said, hey, you know, screen protector's going weird. Is this covered under warranty? What are my options? And Samsung was like, hey, yeah, it's covered under warranty. Take it up to this repair center. It's a uBreak iFix. It's like a chain store for those that are familiar. They have other service centers as well. And so that's what I did. I went up there to the store. They actually had the screen protector in stock. However, the guy, he kept like touching my phone. Like he was like he grabbed my phone and then he was trying to like rub this crease out in the screen and stuff. And he was, I mean, in my mind, being a little bit too harsh with it. And so that was kind of my first issue. And I was like, okay. And, you know, as someone who's had now one iPhone and just got things handled in the Apple Store, I like that approach better. And I'll get into more of why that is. Additionally, you know, he said, hey, let me take down your information. It's under warranty. You get one screen protector replacement for free. I think Samsung actually said that. So maybe I'm not the only one encountering this issue with the bubbling up. But then he said, okay, you know, let's test to make sure it works, whatever. So I saw him do that. You know, he made a fake call, made sure the speakers work, stuff like that, verified it was good. And then he was going to check it in, and he said, what's your phone's passcode? And I said, you're replacing a screen protector. Like, I'm going to turn this phone off. Like, it's going to be encrypted. Like, you're not going to be able to get to it. I mean, I work in cybersecurity. That's my day job. And my work email's on here and other, you know, sensitive stuff. And I said, there's no way. Like, I am not giving you the passcode to my phone. Even if I trust this person to have the passcode, right? Even if I trust this person to have the passcode to my phone, what about the system it's stored on? Are they storing my passcode in an encrypted way? You know, is And of course, right, the best practice is to change your passcode when you get it back anyway, but of course not a lot of people are going to do that. They're going to keep the same passcode that they remember. So if I give this guy my passcode, you know, and he puts it in and whatever, to test, again, functionality upon exit when I get the device back, what's he going to have access to? He's going to have access to everything on my phone. I mean, some things, of course, are behind other authentication mechanisms. For instance, if I go to, you know, Discover here, right, even if I have the passcode to my phone, I still have to scan fingerprints, so they wouldn't be able to get into certain apps like these. So some of the most important information is protected, but, you know, some of it's not. You know, my messages and things like that, that is not something that I was even close to being comfortable trusting this total stranger. I mean, yes, he works for a store, a chain store, but that was not something I was comfortable with in the least, and I fought him on that. I said, you know, what's the deal here? You know, you're replacing a screen protector. And he said, well, we have to verify the functionality of the device, blah, blah, blah. And that was something that I was not comfortable with. And you know what's going to happen if I go into an Apple store with an iPhone? You know what they're going to do? They're going to put the screen protector on in front of me while I'm in the store, not make me leave my device for 4 hours, I think he said, while they replace the screen protector on my phone. I mean, that was just not acceptable. He already took my device in the back to get an opinion on, you know, hey, was that really the issue? Is that really what's going on? And yeah, that was ridiculous. I mean, that is a experience that completely sours me on that whole experience. You know, of course, your experience might be different. It might vary, but I can tell you what experience doesn't vary. And I'm definitely, if you've watched my channel for any length of time, I'm not an Apple fanboy, homeboy, anything. I've not liked their devices a lot over the years, but what you're getting in Apple is a consistent experience every time. And of course, they're not without their issues. They've had a lawsuit in the past. I think some contractor Apple used like leaked somebody's nude photos or something, and they, you know, settled that or what have you. So I'm not saying that they're not without their own issue, but for something small like a screen protector, Apple's going to replace it in the store. They're going to do it in front of you. You know, they're not going to ask for your passcode. They're not going to do all this crazy stuff. And it's being handled by, you know, the company that sold you the phone. Whereas in this case, I had to go to a third party, you know, that works with Samsung or is Samsung certified or whatever. And quite frankly, the experience was terrible. I mean, it was absolutely terrible. It made me really sour on this phone experience. Of course, the issue in the first place, the screen bubbling up, is just super annoying. You can see it here with the screen off pretty well as I shine the light on it. You can see right there, and a little bit lesser extent right there. So, you know, I'm very bummed. I'm very bummed by this, and it was going to be fine if it was just the screen protector, which is what I thought it was for the last week, and that might still be, but you know, and you probably can't see this, it's nearly impossible, but right in the middle of the crease, you know, if I really, I mean, I kind of have to strain my eyes and look at it just right in the crease here, but I did notice, you know, like a small faint line coming across, and I could notice it right here as well. Of course, it's really blurry. But there was like a small faint line coming out. So I'm wondering if I'm having deeper issues with the screen and not the screen protector. Again, you know, I don't totally know that. Yeah, my support experience was ridiculous, you know, and I'm very sad. Someone who's used this device every day since it came out, besides maybe like 1 or 2 weird days, it's been my daily driver ever since it came out, and to have an issue like this pop up this soon into the ownership experience, even after, you know, Samsung's overtures of this device is more durable, the screen's more durable, everything is, you know, better in this device, and then have that, you know, be kind of foiled, you could say, over something like a screen protector. But when the screen protector is so critical, I guess, to the functionality of the device that, you know, the guy at the store says, good thing you didn't mess with it yourself, or, you know, it might not have been covered, you know, whereas obviously with non-foldable phones, screen protectors are just an add-on. You know, it doesn't compromise warranty, integrity of the device. And look, I knew some of these things when I got this phone, that it's not a maybe ready for prime time product. And for most of my ownership of this phone, I've been very, very impressed with it, you know, as I said at the beginning of the video. But Samsung really let me down here. I'm really disappointed. And you know, it's hard these days, even for someone who switches phones as much as me, to just switch phones back when you have two-factor codes and all sorts of stuff on your main daily driver these days. And what I'll probably have to do is send this to Samsung themselves for warranty replacement. At least for them to look at it after, see if there's an issue with the actual screen after I migrate a lot of my info over. And is Samsung going to get me back after that? Or is this kind of it for now? I don't know. Or will I, flip to Apple? See, did you get that pun? Let's shut the book on it. What do you guys think of the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3? It's one of my favorite phones in years, even still, but this definitely leaves a bad taste in the mouth. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. As always, subscribe if you haven't. Leave us a like if you liked it, and I will see you guys in the next one.